Welcome to Belize. Belize is a small and unique country. It's blessed with wealth untold. It has a rich biodiversity. We still have a lot of our forests intact and a unique ecosystem. We have a melting pot of approximately 389,000 people living here in harmony, and we're trying to coexist with nature. The Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program supports projects that are community-driven. Our role is to support ideas, turning them into sustainable nature-based solutions, enhancing community resilience, and supporting small-scale economic development to allow for the replication, upscaling, and mainstreaming of these innovative approaches that contributes to the Sustainable Development Agenda in Belize. The Small Grants Program is guided by a voluntary National Steering Committee, which provides broad oversight and strategic guidance to its programming efforts.
We are a group of collaborators from different organizations, different sectors. It's work that is geared at transforming the lives of these community-based organizations. The SGP works hand in hand with these communities to build their capacity, to improve alternatives for livelihoods, and to ensure that these communities are able to access the resources of this country that I believe is there for the benefit of all Belizeans.
The SGP allows for that opportunity to downscale larger national policies and strategies through localization.
It's a tradition that we have to really try and reach out to all the different sectors of the society. We try to help them so that they too can benefit.
Belize has many diverse cultures, but we're all united as a people to address the impacts of climate change that is affecting all of us. Our role is to mentor and support community-driven ideas to bring people together with the government, with civil society, with local and indigenous communities, and the result has been tremendous success. Local and indigenous vulnerable communities, they're at the mercy of the impacts of climate change as we speak. The flowering season is changing. There's a reduction of rainfall impacting the availability of water. They are racing to adapt new strategies to cope with those threats. Here in the Vaca Forest Reserve, we're working with 12 farmers, providing a tailored mentorship approach. We have Friends for Conservation and Development. We've provided them with some tools, some initial seeds, equipment to jumpstart their farm.
Y te mandando un poquito, digamos, una institución como usted que llevamos, ¿ves? Cada día nacen otras ideas y como en el proyecto de reforestación.
He has a plan to reforest a pasture over there with additional coffee, fruit trees that then gives some economic return. It's all natural. He just planted the trees and productivity is increasing.
Estoy atendiendo mi finca y al mismo tiempo lo estoy rotando y estamos evolucionando. Estamos evolucionando el proyecto, siempre sistema orgánico, ¿no?
Here is Mr. Eric Khan. Water is very, very much important for his farm, for his family. He's been able to have water within his farm system here to ensure vegetable production.
Pues mire, es una bendición, gracias a Dios, que tengo toda la ayuda que me han dado de esto. Es bueno el agua.
Here we are at the headwaters of our watershed system here in Belize, and so if we improve practices within these higher lands, then we're able to reduce the impact on the downstream communities and the watershed and eventually to our barrier reef system. This is all important to reduce land degradation, but also improve food security and the protection of important biological corridors. And so really the Small Grants Program's role is to spark these innovations to, one, protect our environment, but also we recognize that economic and social empowerment is equally as important.
If we would not have had the GF, the Small Grants Program, in terms of working with communities on the ground, more than likely the vaca would have disappeared. The outcome is that they are, of course, much more environmentally conscious, that they become the custodians of the reserve.
To work with farmers in terms of making a connection to the landscape is very essential to the work we do here at the SJ. And with the support of the GEF Small Grants, that has allowed us now to really concentrate our efforts.
SJ gave me this opportunity, gave me this knowledge to come up on this stage where I am right now. We got the integrated farming system, we got the honey, we got the grocery shop. We sell this cacao locally in the store. So this is what all the Maya people use, and this is our goal.
I went to Honduras, learned more about cacao and Inga. Use lash and mulch now because when you chop the bush and then burn it, that casts too much sun.
Mr. Kus is already thinking how he can restore the degraded lands here by planting Inga, olive cropping, and also other timber species to bring back the water here in his farm.
Yes, the chef support me a lot. Helped me with 600 plants of cacao. It's productive now. I get money in the pocket and then send the children to school.
I have the Inga as my shade tree here. It is eliminating the grass. It is also producing nitrogen for the fruit trees or for the crops that I will be planting. It is also connecting the history of our Mayan people to it again. They didn't do like using chemicals. They instead use what they have there in the forest. My kids and maybe the kids of my kids will still see it and they will still enjoy what I have left behind.
Whatever he learned, he's going to practice, and I'll be right there helping him along the way too. My plan is to make it bigger. We're going to plant more fruit trees, be like a demonstration from other people, guests or locals or foreigners that are welcome.
The bulk of what you see here within these farm systems is the hard work and the dedication of farmers able to demonstrate the success of the projects that we've been supporting for many years.
GEF, has brought us this far, in terms of really promoting and adapting those practices for the farmers.
Thank you, sir.
We're so proud of you.
Belize will be a leading example, internationally for the kind of work we're doing.
SGP is unique because of the participation and capacity building of people, particularly champions and advocates for environmental protection and sustainable development.
These agents of change have a ripple effect, inspiring others in their local communities.
The SGP has collaborated with the community of Santa Teresa, ensuring that there is electricity in the community. Women in these communities have gone to barefoot college in India and acquired the skills and the techniques necessary for doing solar panels.
We started this project because we see it's very hard for kids to do their homework or study at night. So the community get together, they say, we need light, but we can't get light because electricity is very expensive. It's all about training.
Add a small amount of acid in. If it gets to the point it's not even giving you an hour, you do that, you'll get an hour or two for maybe a month.
We have several trainings for our communities about climate change and how to maintain these systems. I'll be changing one of the parts to resolder it and then put it back again. The children now, they're studying at night. On the first year of having this project, the teacher told us it was 100% pass on a Belize examination. Even now, I think the grades are going even higher. Every person has a system now. Every person. Anybody at home will do their extra work at night. They have the light. Yeah, it's a big improvement. I feel very proud of it. Nasa ho inch all lain na katawli project kain Saint O na shkatyo, it's katao.
In 1998, the sanctuary was facing a lot of hard times and the doors were closed. The women of the community saw the potential of the sanctuary in its primary objective, the saving of the habitat for the black howler monkeys. The Women's Conservation Group has 5 focal areas. These 5 areas include conservation, research, education, ecotourism, and community development. And through the efforts and the partnership that the Community Baboon Sanctuary Women's Conservation Group has forged along with the GEF Small Grants Program, we have been able to accomplish many of the objectives that we have set out with all the trainings and opportunities that have come through the partnership. It's because of these accomplishments that makes me proud to be a woman, a part of the Community Baboon Sanctuary, working towards great things.
We as an indigenous community live in partnership with nature. We depend on the river, on the forest. It's a part of our daily life. We cannot go without it. We have farming along the river banks. That contributes to contamination, erosion, and sedimentation. And whatever it affects here, it will affect downstream eventually, towards the sea. Our women, who are the primary users of the resource, benefit through environmental sessions. Our men also benefit from short-term employment, and they also realize that if they do not take ownership of the resource, then we can no longer live in unison with nature. Through the support of GEF Small Grants, we have been able to bring the community together.
Climate change is one of the largest threats to coral reef health, causing more frequent and severe storms, as well as coral bleaching and diseases.
These corals were in abundance when we were kids growing up. Now there's so many dead skeletons. Putting more corals out there equals more fish. We learned how we can help put these corals back.
We get out there and we restore the reef by planting new corals and have made Laughing Bird this beautiful, beautiful island once again.
Mangroves and corals and seagrasses are all connected. Through the Small Grants program, we were able to begin working with mangrove reforestation as well as the coral restoration. They both provide shoreline protection, and most of the creatures that we care about undersea use all of these ecosystems at some point in their lifetime. Women have an ingrained nurturing attitude towards our natural resources. We have flexible hours for training. We understand a lot of working moms, don't have the same availability, so we try to spread our courses out over the evenings and weekends to accommodate women.
It's been a big struggle as a single mom trying to make ends meet. I am very grateful and privileged for the opportunity to get training for the Belize Tourism Training Program. It's a life-changing experience, having better opportunities to put food on the table, also getting more involved with the environment.
We've been able to offer several field trips now targeting over 150 school children.
When I saw the corals that Lisa and her crew planted, I really wondered how did they plant these corals, and I really would like to be involved in protecting it and experience it for myself.
After we took the course, we noticed a lot more women in our community have come and asked us all the time, how can we get involved?
It's made me feel like tour guiding and being a part of Fragments of Hope. It was all worth it. Totally worth it.
Belize is leading the world by empowering its local fishers as stewards of their resources by implementing rights-based fishery through its Managed Access program.
Belize Audubon Society has the pleasure of co-managing Blue Hole Natural Monument and Half Moon Key Natural Monument. This area is predominantly used for conchs and lobster fishing. Belize Audubon Society has a long-standing relationship with the Jeff Small Grants Program to build community relationships, working on enforcement and education. It's relatively small projects, but the impact has been huge.
The GF Small Grant has been very supportive of the work of Belize Audubon Society. They have allowed us to maintain presence within the communities. Throughout the years, we have been able to build stewardship with these fishermen and improve what we call a trust and working relationship. You have a logbook, Pedro?
The coral reef health is something that we monitor. We monitor the biodiversity because a healthy reef, a healthy ecosystem supports the fishermen and contributes to their livelihoods. We cannot underestimate our stakeholders and their willingness to participate in stewardship and management of the resources, but we also need to be very cognizant that we need to educate them and empower them to be the stewards that they can be.
As a fisherman myself, I didn't have those opportunities. There was no managed access program. You can hear the positives from the fisher folks who have taken ownership of this whole marine ecosystem. For me, that is very gratifying.
If you love something, you take care of it. We're trying to build love and build partnerships and build trust so that Belize has resources for the future so that future generations can benefit.
These innovations across the landscape and seascapes here in Belize are then transferred into the broader Caribbean region and the world. Conservation and community development cannot happen in isolation. Nature is contributing to our sustainable development, to our economy, our way of life, our identity as a people. It's all connected.
The recipients at the end of the projects have a better understanding of their reality, and I think are left with a capacity that they stand to benefit from.
I have seen some of these community-based organizations really grow and strengthen and graduate into handling greater and greater and more complex projects over the years.
I've seen people's behavior, attitude change with regard to their view of nature. More and more, there is an increase in stewardship and participation. The world depends on us as a country to maintain these important natural resources.
The willingness and the involvement of local communities, in particular the young people, gives me a lot of hope for the future.
I feel humbled. I feel beyond inspired. When we put people first and provide the tools and create that enabling environment, people are moved to action and can do great things.
We do not own the resources. We do not own the land, the sea, and so on. We are simply holding them in trust for those who are not yet born.
It's very important, it's crucial, and when we invest in nature, we will always have positive returns.